talk all about comparing things. And we've learned a couple of ways to compare already. We've learned how to say something is more whatever than what, is more whatever. We've learned how to say gèng adjective. So it means more, more adjective. So gèng leng means colder. I briefly mentioned how yìdiǎn or yìdiǎr or diān put after an adjective also has a comparing, so it means a bit more. So if I say 今天冷点儿, 今天, today, 冷点儿 is a little colder, presumably than yesterday or than whatever. 今天冷点儿. So we talked about that. That's a little bit more. So those are the two ways. But we actually haven't learned specifically how to say something is more something than something. And so that's what today's videos are about. We're also learning some other comparing sentences. So A, B, so this is B's third tone. So kind of funny. This and this, B and B sound very similar. So A, B, adjective. That's the structure. And the subject of the sentence is A. So let's look at this one. Shaq 比 LeBron 高. So Shaq is taller than LeBron. So notice in both English and Chinese we're going to start with Shaq. Shaq is taller than LeBron. But in English we have Shaq and then we go to the adjective is taller and then we have this then LeBron phrase. Then LeBron. So the order is different. In Chinese it's like you have the two things side by side. Shaq 比 LeBron. Okay, Shaq compared to, that's what that B actually means. Shaq, in essence, it means that Shaq compared to LeBron is tall. So it means that Shaq is taller than LeBron. Here's another example. 中国人, Chinese people, 比美国人多. So this means many. So Chinese people compared, or 比美国人 compared to Americans are 多, are more. So there are more Chinese people than American people. That is actually true. 中国人比美国人多. Here we have another one. This is 狗比猫可爱. 狗比猫可爱. Dogs 比猫 more compared to cats. 狗比猫可爱. Cute. Dogs are cuter than cats. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm just trying to stir up the pot, I have my opinions and all, but I'm just cat lovers, just trying to get a rise out of you a little bit. Just having fun. So I wanted to mention. So that's the basic structure. Oh, I want to mention a couple of things actually. So this B can be negated by 不. So if I want to say, and what it means is, it doesn't mean if I negate it, it doesn't mean if I negate this sentence, it doesn't mean that LeBron is taller than Shaq. What it means is that Shaq is not taller than LeBron. It doesn't say whether LeBron is taller than Shaq. It just means that if I say Shaq is not taller than LeBron, it's just negating the fact. It's negating the idea that Shaq is taller than LeBron. It's saying that's not true. Okay, so it'd be Shaq 不比 LeBron 高 or 狗不比猫可爱. And then I wanted to point out these 4 words. These are all words, yeah, I guess you could say words, that are all words, I need to put a little thing here, that can go before the adjective to kind of influence the meaning of the adjective. So let's look at this example. Shaq 比 LeBron 更高. We've already talked about that actually in a previous video. That means like, it often means even more than. Or sometimes it just means more than. 还 can also go there. Shaq 比 LeBron 还高. And that definitely means even more than. And then we have háiyào, which means the same thing. Shaq 比 LeBron 还要高. Again, it just adds emphasis. It's like even more. LeBron is tall, but Shaq is even taller. And then finally, we can put 要 before 高 to say Shaq 比 LeBron 要高. 要has the feeling of it being sort of an estimation. Like maybe there's not absolute proof, we can't measure it side by side, but he appears to be, it seems like I'm estimating that Shaq is taller than LeBron. So It has a little bit of an estimation feeling to it. All right, so that is the basic structure. We have a noun, be another noun, and then the adjective to say that this is more of that adjective than this. And now we're going to look at some other comparing ideas. In this video, we're going to talk about how to say A is not as something as B. And so in other words, it's if we flip it around, it's like saying something is less than something. But anyway, let's look at some examples. The structure is A, may or méiyǒu, B, adjective. Funny point. If you don't say yo and just say may, B, A, may, B, maybe, get it? All right. LeBron 没有 Shaq 高. LeBron is not as tall as Shaq. So it's LeBron 没有. He does not have as much height, essentially. It's an adjective, so height is a noun. But anyway, LeBron 没有 Shaq 高. LeBron is not as tall as Shaq. That's how you say someone is not as something. 美国人, Americans 没有中国人多. Americans do not have as much manyness as Chinese people. Americans are not as many as Chinese people. They are fewer. And then here we have 狗眉毛可爱. Dogs are not as cute as cats. 狗眉毛可爱. So there you go, cat lovers. I'm throwing you a bone. All right, that's how you say something is not as adjective as another thing. In this little segment, we're going to talk about how to adjust the degree of the comparison. And actually, we've talked about one of these in the past. We've mentioned that if we put yìdiǎn after the adjective, then it'll mean like a little more rather than much more or whatever. So there are two ways to kind of say a little or somewhat more. That's to add yìdiǎn after the adjective, or to add yìxiē after the adjective. This also means some or somewhat. You could probably say that yìxiē maybe is a little bit more than yìdiǎn, but that line is so fuzzy that it's hardly worth making the distinction. So they both mean a little or somewhat more than whatever we're talking about. So, for example, if I want to say I am taller than you, I'm a little taller than you, I can say 我比你高一点, or 我比你高一些. And then these three options are all ways to say much more. So now we're adjusting the degree higher. And they all involve 多. You can say, and they also go after the adjective. So if the adjective is 高, then 高很多, or 高得多, or 高多了. All serve to do the same thing. So if I want to say, you are taller than me, you are a lot taller than me, I could say any of these three. 你比我高很多, 你比我高得多, or 你比我高多了. And then, additionally, if you add a l to any of these guys, it'll come between the adjective and this, this adjusting the degree thing. Then it'll mean that it has become more like that. So for example, if I have a cold and someone asks me, how's your cold? And I would say 感冒好了一点. What does that mean? It means it's better now than it used to be, because le indicates a change. It has become better. So 感冒好了一点. That means it's a bit better. Or I could say 好多了. And here I don't need to add another la, because there's already a la here, so I just say 好多了. And I'm not 100% sure if you can do it with these two. And so I'm just going to say, let's say 好多了, or 好了一点, 好了一些, because I'm sure that those are all fine. It may be fine with these two, but I feel like maybe the emphasis is slightly different somehow. But anyway, there you go. That's how you adjust the degree with words after the adjective. We talked about the words that you can put before the adjective that don't exactly adjust the degree. They do. It's not the degree so much as like, if 更高 means like even more, or sometimes it means even more. 还要高 means even more, that kind of thing. where this is actually telling you like how much more it is than the other thing, and that's slightly different. But there we go. That's all about comparisons. I believe in HSK 3 we talk a little bit more about some comparison things, but that's all how you do the basic comparisons, talking about one thing compared to another.